Hello, hello. Welcome to the second episode of the Sentinel PH, the first ever show in the Philippines talking about the topic of combating wokeness through reason, common sense, and faith. I'm Jay Aruga, host of the Jay Aruga Show.
And I'm Anthony James Perez, author of The Man You're Meant to Be.
Our topic this week is is cancel culture, and let me start by sharing this story. Member ako ng isang group chat. And ang group chat na ito is composed of centrist. I would like to think na may ilang mga right-wingers din dito and mostly may mga liberals dito sa GC na ito. Minsan ay nabasa ko sa GC ang comment na wala daw talagang cancel culture at nagpapa-victim lang daw ang right when they call out cancel culture. Siyempre nawindang ako upon reading this because this is a form of gaslighting. I beg to differ. Before I give specific examples of cancel culture, nais ko munang ibigay what I think are the hallmarks of cancel culture. One is it's capable of using the powerful institutions to either deplatform you, maban ka sa isang social media app, or worse, ma-fire ka sa iyong trabaho. Normally din, ang mob na ito is not the group that you're supposedly offended. They just use the guise of compassion or allyship to exercise their power. Then they move on to their next victim. The second hallmark is the offense is usually petty. It could have been said many years ago and it could not have meant to offend. Then the last hallmark, cancel culture is unforgiving. It doesn't matter kung mag-apologize ka pa, you'll get canceled anyway. And here are some examples of cancel culture executed by our friends from the left. Guess who tweeted this? If sex isn't real, there's no same sex attraction. If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased. I know and love trans people, but erasing the concept of sex removes the ability of many to meaningfully discuss their lives. It isn't hate to speak the truth. Sino ito? The answer is J.K. Rowling, author of the best selling Harry Potter series. Her tweet is in support of Maya Forstater, a tax specialist who lost her job for what were deemed transphobic tweets. Si Rowling ay hindi conservative. In fact, she identifies as a feminist, but now she's called a TERF. What's a TERF? It's trans exclusionary radical feminist. Many people tried to cancel her. Many Harry Potter projects by Warner Brothers tried to distance from Rowling. Yung Harry Potter 20th anniversary nga, yung Return to Hogwarts, they didn't even feature the author. Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter himself, and many of the cast spoke up against Rowling. And despite that, because the Harry Potter franchise is such a phenomenon, mukhang hindi tinabla ng Avedra Kedavra ng cancel culture si J.K. Rowling. She was said to be uncancelable. However, not all people are uncancelable like J.K. Rowling. Take this headline. Guitarist and banjo player ng bandang Mumford and Sons ay napilitang mag-quit dahil sinuportahan niya ang aklat ni Andy Ngo entitled Unmasked. This book criticized Antifa. Another one is Dr. Ryan T. Anderson, whose book was removed from Amazon's website because it talks about transgenderism as a mental disorder. Kahit nga noon pa man ay tinatawag itong gender identity disorder. For me, ang isa sa pinakaunang victims ng cancel culture ay si Kevin Hart, who was canceled from hosting the Oscars because of a gay joke he delivered 8 years ago. From the right naman, it can be debated whether the Bud Light incident with Dylan Mulvaney is cancel culture or yung Target na store sa California nung may LGBT children's wear sila, bumaba ang sales nila, or even Disney na laging nagpo-flop na ang mga movies nila these days. For me, this is boycott, which is different from cancel culture. You're just using the free market and deciding not to give your money to woke corporations. We can debate whether this is worse than cancel culture or not. Also, the left can also say that cancel culture can is like the right is doing cancel culture whenever we push for censorship, LGBT content directed to kids. One can also say na if only the right controls the institutions, they will not hesitate to use cancel culture to push their agenda. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. Will never know. We can also analyze if the persona non grata or the cases filed against Pura Luca Vega is a form of cancel culture. Number one, it uses the institution. Number two, we can debate if his offense is petty or not. That's subject to discussion. But yung number three na hallmark is cancel culture is unforgiving. And we haven't heard Pura Luca Vega apologize yet to know whether this is true or not.
Hello, good evening. If you have noticed, tomorrow happens to be the Feast of Divine Mercy. And for Catholics, it is the feast about God's boundless ocean of mercy and forgiveness. This feast was established by Pope John Paul II in the year 2000, based on the writings and experiences of Saint Faustina, a Polish nun who was a mystic. The Feast of Divine Mercy reminds us that no matter how great our sins may be, God's mercy is greater. The main theme of this feast is the understanding that God's mercy is available to everyone who seeks it, no matter what sins we committed. I think it's fitting na i-celebrate natin ang Divine Mercy after ng Holy Week. Mankind has subjected Jesus to the most painful and humiliating form of death, and a week after we celebrate his passion, death, and resurrection, we celebrate his mercy. God's divine mercy is fueled by his eternal love for us, a love that is gentle and patient, and even to the point of his death. One of the last things he says is, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. Cancel culture is the direct opposite of divine mercy. Cancel culture is outrage fueled by ideology. Kapag hindi ka sumunod sa narrative nila like, abortion is healthcare, or trans women are women, canceled ka kaagad, or worse, reported or deplatformed. Pagkakalat pa nila sa iba na dapat kang i-unfollow. God's divine mercy tells us that we're all renewed and forgiven whenever we repent of our sins and go to confession. Cancel culture looks back on all your previous sins and there is no forgiveness for them. Mahilig manghalughog ng mga lumang tweets at posts ang mga taong lulong sa cancel culture, so they have more reason to hate you. God's divine mercy inspires us to change for the good. Cancel culture invites fear of rejection or cancellation. Watch this video and tell me if these two...
I'm gonna have to go no comment, man. Yeah. No comment? I'm at a pretty diverse school. Wait, so you're afraid to say what you really think because your school is gonna revoke your scholarship if you say what you really believe?
Jesse, how many genders are there?
I don't know. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm gonna say something wrong.
How many genders are there?
Genders.
How many genders are there?
How many genders are there?
I'm being tricked.
How many genders are there? How many genders?
She's asking,
Nah. We're gonna look bad. No comment.
He's 17.
The scholarship looks too good.
Let him go to school.
You believe in God? Yes, I do. What religion are you? A Christian. What does the Bible say about the genders? How many are there? No comment. You read the Bible? I read the Bible. I know what he says. No comment. You're gonna let the Bible beat your college? No comment.
This is bullshit. New York is ruined, bro.
Now the woke tell us that their lifestyle and ideology gives people freedom and happiness. Do these students look free or happy? Do they feel included in the conversation? Do they even feel that they are free to express their opinions? You can literally see something is wrong here. If you've been paying attention to history lessons, this is the kind of uneasiness that people from the Soviet Union or East Germany felt during the height of the Cold War. Kasi isang maling salita mo lang, isusumbong ka na at huhulihin ka na sa secret police. There are many ways to combat cancel culture. Propagating God's divine mercy is one of them. All of us have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. So maybe instead of canceling, let's start forgiving one another and talking to one another once again, like people. Let's be kinder. Let's be more forgiving. Let's be gentler. Don't let canceling be your first and only default move against those you disagree with. Lastly, do not be afraid of getting canceled. People get canceled because we keep obeying the call for cancellation, whether it's from social media platforms, companies that won't protect their employees, or the school that will look for any flimsy reason to cancel your scholarship. We are all afraid of getting canceled, ridiculed, or mistreated. So I think it's really time for us to stop obeying the mob. It's time we stood up for what we believe in and stood up together. As I always say, better to be canceled in this life than not to defend what is true and what is right, and then find out that on the day of our judgment, God has canceled us himself.
All right. Hey guys, give us your feedback. Comment kayo dyan sa comment section down below. And our topic today is cancel culture. So AJ,
Yeah.
kamusta?
Naranasan nyo na ba
Yeah.
just for viewers, just tell us your comments about your experiences about getting canceled. I'm sure si Jay has experienced getting canceled. Ako naman, there's this private Facebook group that me and my wife are members of. It's really thousands and thousands of young people who are members. And most of these young people are, lean into woke and liberal mindsets. Ang nangyayari is, pag napapag-usapan yung mga topics tungkol sa abortion, tungkol sa divorce, all these hot button topics, syempre kami, magsasalita kami. And there was more than one instance where I was accused na enabler daw ako ng SA, if you know what I mean, no? Kasi against daw ako sa abortion law. Paano kapag kunwari na abuso yung babae, hindi mo ba tatapusin yung pregnancy? Ako naman, syempre we have to defend not only our Catholic faith, pero yung basic na lang, let's defend what is true. And for that, I was told na enabler ka ng abuso, ng domestic abuse. Para sa akin, I myself actually, just a short confession, I myself was abused. No? Coming from a victim of SA myself, parang natatawa na lang ako dito sa mga accusations ng mga batang ire na they try to cancel me, they try to kick me out of the group. It's just a good thing that these admins had the good sense na, let's have a good back and forth conversation. Di pa naman ako totally na-cancel, pero napagtawanan at I was the subject of a lot of ridicule and hate. No. So, how about you, Jay?
Hey, so for myself, sa trabaho, hindi naman ako na-kick out sa trabaho, but I remember my boss talking about me kasi merong survey sa work, and I'm very vocal sa aking views, pero sometimes pinaghiwalay ko yung podcast sa work, and nakita ko yung evolution ng workplace ko during early 2000s until pumasok yung 2010 beyond. The moment na ginamit yung word na diversity ng CEO namin ng kumpanya, ay alam ko na kung ano yung tinutukoy lahat, saan na ito pupunta. And tama nga ako, unti-unti merong mga quote-unquote confirmation bias training which is actually just an indoctrination training. And I've been vocal. May mga survey sa office about supposedly anonymous survey.
Mhm.
And I show my feelings dun sa survey na yon. And na-spot nila ako. Because,
Pero
uh,
yung survey na yun, nandun yung pangalan mo.
uh, hindi,
Yung
anonymous
pangalan ng
survey
lahat.
siya. Anonymous
But
survey
they know
siya.
it's you.
They know it's me because I'm, although inihiwalay ko yung podcast ko sa
Yeah.
career ko, may mga ilan naman sa office na alam yung topics ko sa podcast. And hindi din naman ako nag-deny na nung nalaman nilang ako yon. So, because, of course, kahit anonymous yung survey, I stand by what I believe in. And my boss talked to me. Nagkaroon kami ng usapan, medyo heated exchange on my disagreement on the diversity initiatives. And that's sad kasi they put some conservatives sa work. And guys nga pala sa mga nanonood ng The Sentinel PH, we never claim that The Sentinel PH is a conservative right-wing website because itong problema ng wokeness has been encompassing both sa left and right, di ba? So even yung mga left-leaning people like Bill Maher, si Joe Rogan used to be left-leaning, are against these wokeness. Kaya yon, disclaimer lang. So yon, ang kwento ko, in the end, I tried to be low-key sa office, but still medyo mapagmatsyag because yun yung problema eh. The company didn't start woke. Nung nagsimula ako magtrabaho doon, hindi naman yung kumpanya. Pero medyo recent lang itong phenomenon na to. You've been there all.
Katulad nga nung katulad nung sinabi ko dun sa isang Facebook post ko. Back in the year 2009, 2010, when I first started with the pro-life activities na ginagawa namin sa Pro-Life Philippines and sa Filipinos for Life, ang pinag-uusapan noon is more feministic, which is yung tungkol sa contraception and abortion. And sabi namin, parang if we allow this contraceptive mentality to seep in, many more worse things will happen. And then, hindi ko na-imagine na 14 years later, pag-uusapan pa natin, ano ba talaga yung babae? What is a woman? No? Babae ka ba talaga? Lalaki ka ba talaga? Trans women are women. It behooves me. It really fascinates me and shocks me in a way na ganito yung kalidad ng usapan ngayon. At kapag nag-disagree ka, katulad ng sinabi nito ni Lorenzo Estrella, for a movement that promotes inclusivity, wokeism is ironically fascistic. No, yung lalo na yung cancel culture, nakakatakot eh. No, nakakatakot talaga magsalita. Minsan talagang very guarded ka sa mga sasabihin mo. Cancel culture can rear its ugly head in doxing. Doxing, for those who are not familiar with the term, is yung tendency ng mga tao na i-research kung saan ka nakatira, saan ka nagtatrabaho. Tapos, ang gagawin nila is ipagkakalat nila, uy, dito nagtatrabaho yan sa ganitong lugar, dito yan nakatira, sundan nyo, tapos para for you to express your disagreement. Biro mo, gano'n na tayo ka-toxic ngayon. So, for the rest, just tell us your experience of getting canceled. Send us your comments. We'll discuss them.
Although may mga ibang mga, bukod kay J.K. Rowling, ang ilan sa kilala ko na naka-defy ng cancel culture is si Dave Chappelle sa Netflix. If you know, di ba, guys? May mga trans joke siya. May mga empleyado ng Netflix na nag-push. Yeah. So, aside from that, si Joe Rogan as well, yung mga empleyado ng Spotify, nung ginest ni Joe Rogan si Abigail Shrier, ay nag-petition sila na i-kick out si Joe Rogan sa Spotify. But nag-stand firm ang Spotify. The sad thing is kailangan mo maging... Yep, go ahead.
Meron akong observation.
Go ahead, sige.
All these uncancelable people are already too big to be canceled. Is if
Right.
there's such a thing.
Right.
Maybe ang sasabihin ng iba is gusto ko munang magkaroon ng solid footing, kunwari sa trabaho ko, solid footing dito sa career ko or online bago ako magsalita ng something that is controversial or potentially cancelable. And what do you think about that? For me, I think it's sort of understandable, no? Pero at some point, you will really have to speak up. What do you think
And
about that, Jay?
it's counterintuitive sa gusto ng mga kaibigan natin sa left because ang left gusto nila may voice yung mga nasa laylayan ng lipunan. But
Yeah,
this time ngayon sinasabi ang nangyayari is kung mataas ka, tsaka ka nagkakaroon ng power to speak. And
that
kung,
is ironic. Yeah.
yeah, di ba, may irony. So, yeah, just send us your comments, guys. Or we can move on to the next topic, AJ.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so last Easter, ay minakasabay na holiday ang Easter. And in the US, which is kung nasan ka, AJ, President Joe Biden, he proclaimed yung March 31 as International Transgender Day of Visibility, which happened to be Easter. And it's medyo umalma ang rightfully din kasi this is the biggest celebration ng mga Kristiyano, yung Easter.
Yes. And to be fair also, nakita ko in the previous years, March 31 talaga yung kanilang celebration. It just so happens na number one, nataon sa Easter Sunday, and number two, yung supposedly pinaka visible head or leader ng buong mundo. I'm not saying he's the leader of the whole world, but he's the most visible one. Unfortunately, si President Joe Biden happened to tweet about the International Transgender Day of Visibility, but not Easter. No, that's what I hear. No,
Yes.
so that's unfortunate, and that is very para sa akin very wrong.
Oh, definitely. Ang medyo weird lang, AJ, that I have dito ang opinion ko dito because may tweet tayo sa hindi pala tweet, may pinost tayo sa Sentinel PH na page wherein ang ABS-CBN News also posted about the Trans Day of Visibility. ABS-CBN News, which is a Filipino news outlet. And hindi ko alam, but I don't know kung merong mga Pinoy na naghihintay ng Transgender Day of Visibility. Nakamarka sa mga kalendaryo nila ito at matagal nilang iniintay kaya ginawa ito ng ABS-CBN.
Well,
And
katulad nung sinabi ko sa aking post at sa Sentinel na rin. It's not like they're invisible. No? It's not like wala kang napapansin, ay may transgender pala. Hindi ganun ang experience natin eh. If anything, baliktad ang experience natin. We see them too much. It's not that we're discriminating against them. It's not that ayaw natin silang kasama. But to say na hindi sila visible, no, when parang napaka in your face na nga ng kanilang presence and nung pag-push ng propaganda, ng gender ideology, ng LGBT ideology, it's not what is the experience of people right now. And yun ang parang ironic sa akin, na Day of Visibility, parang sa June lang magiging visible na naman sila eh, no? And they even took Women's Month. No.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so alam nyo ba na May 19 is a Gender Pride Day, May 22 Harvey Milk Day, May 24 Pansexual Day, May 17 nandito naman Transphobia, Homophobia, Biphobia, International Day Against These, then June nga Pride Month, November is Trans Awareness Month, then Transgender Parents Day is November 6, then may isang week doon Trans Awareness Week. Then meron ding Transgender Day of Remembrance, November 20. Then marami pang mga iba't ibang days for the transgender. Actually, kulang pa talaga. Kailangan pa nitong Transgender day of visibility.
Dagdagan pa
It's not
natin,
enough. It's not enough. Yung
Ah,
sa ABS-CBN nga na post, yung pinost mo is
aha,
ironically pride flag. Yung lumang pride flag pa yung pinost nila dun eh. Yung
yeah,
rainbow na wala yung
yeah,
transgender
yung yeah,
colors.
oo.
Kaya medyo ironic na they're celebrating
So,
Transgender Day of Visibility pero wala din
aha.
yung transgender colors.
So, before we proceed dun sa susunod kong sasabihin, let's read some of the comments. Biden's worst move from John Mark T. Cruz. Biden's worst move ever. I think marami na siyang worst moves by this time.
Pag-usapan
But
lang kung
yeah,
ano, yung debate na lang is
yeah.
kung alin dun sa mga moves na yun ang
Uh,
worst.
and from Kaylin, sorry if I mispronounced your name. I think the solution to getting canceled is to work for a conservative non-woke company, which is mahirap hanapin. No, mahirap hanapin. Easier said than done, but yes, I agree with that. Medyo mahirap lang hanapin kung sino sila. Kasi even yung companies natin, katulad ng sinabi mo, Jay, na, they abide by these woke rules. Kahit yung company ko, nagkaroon kami ng gender sensitivity training back 2 years ago and no one was really speaking up. Natatakot lahat. Yeah.
But although, ito yung masasabi ko lang, guys, whenever there's a company that does something na pro-family, i-compliment nyo. Mag-send kayo ng good vibes message. Promote natin. Kunwari, hindi naman tayo sponsor ng Jollibee, but Jollibee has always been pro-family. And whenever they do something na pro-family, yun, i-promote nyo. Message nyo Jollibee, encourage. And siguro, in due time, mas dadami ang mag-promote ng pro-family message. Because alam nilang may market for this.
One last word about it though is hindi lahat ng companies is 100% woke. Hindi lahat ng companies ay 100% conservative. They will be doing stuff like promoting LGBT and at the same time they will be doing stuff like promoting family. Ang gawin natin is we promote the good that they're doing. We promote the values that we want to be promoted, and let's help them do so. No, and not support any of the values na labag sa values natin. And ganun talaga yung ano nila eh. Ang setup ng mundo ngayon eh. It's not 100% woke, hopefully not. It's not 100% conservative. So let's just promote the kind of values that we want them to promote and help them promote it.
All right.
Gusto ko lang din idagdag na na there's this study that says finally there's this study, a new study na matagal nang ginagawa na nagsasabing the vast majority of children grow out of gender confusion, which means kapag sinabi ng 8 or 9-year-old mo na ay nanay, I think I'm a boy pero girl siya, or vice versa. This study confirms na the vast majority of them will say after a few years that they have outgrown their gender confusion. No, so there's really no need para mag-take ng puberty blockers, para mag gender reassignment surgery, natanggalin ng kanilang mga genitals and kanilang mga breasts. So just a point na to prove that gender ideology is really really crazy. Sorry. No. Sorry, not sorry. No.
And
we all know this eh, na kapag kunwari feeling tomboy they don't have to be transitioned into a man. Kapag feeling malambot, they don't necessarily be na magiging babae sila. Yes, Jay.
Yeah, I just want to say na kaya scandalous yung ABS-CBN posting something about Transgender Day of Visibility is because doing so is enabling and encouraging children to hate their bodies, di ba? Kung babae ka na gusto mong maging lalaki, it's encouraging these kids na, alam mo yung uso ngayon, yung chest binders sa babae na gusto maging lalaki.
Okay, yeah.
Para walang breast, para naka-flat yung breast. And damaging ito sa breast tissue. Guys,
Mhm.
there are
I'm
research
sure.
na nagsasabi na damaging ito kapag fina-flatten yung breast. Aside from that, sa US, AJ, 'di ba, nandiyan ka, uso na yung bukod sa social transition because doon nag-start yun sa pronouns. Then after that, puberty blockers, which has a lot of
Mhm.
side effects. Yung puberty blockers, yung Lupron, ginagamit siya sa pag-castrate ng mga
Permanent.
criminals.
Permanent side effects.
Yeah, permanent side effects. May mga detransitioners who spoke about it. Si Chloe Cole is one example. Aside from that, yung cross-sex hormones, marami ding permanent side effects. And maraming mga bata na wala silang alam na masama sa kanila to nung bata sila, but the adults in their lives, pinupush sila mag-transition because of this ideology. Eventually, sex reassignment surgery na yung next dun sa line. Yung mga nagbabind ng breast, double mastectomy, pinapatanggal na yung breast tissue. And again, bata pa rin sila, what do they know? So, I think
Yeah.
it's just right to point out to ABS-CBN or to any company here in the Philippines that if you celebrate this Transgender Day of Visibility, you're enabling these things, yung pag-transition ng mga bata. And aside from that, you're enabling biological males going into women's spaces and women's sports. So, ang daming mga ini-enable and it's not okay, guys. Kaya, ayun,
Never
yun lang.
okay. Yeah. So let's get to our final segment, yung video reactions natin. There's this video from Family Guy, one of my favorite shows. Let's see it.
Right on. Right on. Sup, I'm Hammer. First, I'd like to not thank you for hiring me because I just expect good things to happen to me without working for them. Second, I'd like to give you all a list of my trigger warnings.
What's a trigger warning?
Actually, bruh, asking me what a trigger warning is one of my triggers, bruh. I feel traumatized, bruh. And now I'm tweeting about you, bruh. And now you're trending, bruh. And now your life is ruined, bruh. And now you're fired, bruh.
What happened to Bra?
Nice one. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Fair point. Sinabi ko to sa Boko, the man you're meant to be. Trigger warnings don't work. No? They actually work to the opposite effect, na lalong nagiging sensitive at coddled ang mga tao because of trigger warnings. But generally, trigger warnings don't work.
Yeah. Aside sa Family Guy, ang gusto ko lang din na mga cartoons are South Park. Naging consistent yung South Park din. Although medyo nasa edge yung South Park, pero they're consistent in fighting against the institution. Dati right yung kinakalaban nila, religion. And now dahil sa woke ang number one institution ngayon, kinakalaban din ito ng South Park. Alright?
Okay. Next video.
Don't belong in the women's bathroom.
A man walked into the women's bathroom, been in there for like 5 minutes. Hey.
I'm transgender. Okay?
You're a man, dude.
I'm a trans woman.
You're not a trans woman, you're born a man.
What
if my daughter was in there and you walked in there?
It don't matter.
It matters to me.
You go outside. You're go away. So if you look like a man, you should be walking into a men's bathroom. Period. You got a man chest, you got man legs, you got a man face, you got man arms. Have a nice day, sir.
Babaeng-babae siya, no?
Ang ganda nga, actually. Ang ganda ng babae.
Ang comment ko lang is, kahit tatay ka na feminist ka or woke ka, I don't believe for a moment na kapag may pumasok na ganyan sa women's bathroom at nandun yung anak mo, I don't believe for a moment na ipapairal mo pa rin yung wokeness mo or yung pagka-feminist mo. No? Uunahin mo pa rin yung common sense na sandali, maybe my daughter is in danger.
Talaga, hindi ba pang Miss Universe yung kagandahan ng babae na nakita natin?
Pagdebatehan natin next episode.
Anyway, ayun, let's read this comment from Sherwin Marif Simon. Sabi niya, even sa US and Europe, sobrang galit na sila sa na-impose, na pinipilit ang twisted woke agendas. Kaya tuloy movies and even music and game industry namamatay na. Sa awa ng Diyos, ang Pilipinas hindi pa napapasok, lalo na very religious pa rin ang Pilipino. Ilang shows like Showtime na pasimple na nag-i-influence ng woke and gender ideology, pero hindi na siniseryoso ng Pinoy and nagagalit na rin pag sumobra. I'd like to wish that that's the case, pero sometimes nagiging lax tayo kaya kailangan maging sentinel tayo. So kaya yun yung pinili nating pangalan because a sentinel is na nag-watch, di ba? Nagbabantay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we've discussed enough. We thank our viewers, no, sa mga comments nyo. Patuloy natin pag-uusapan yan sa week na to, no, through our posts. We thank you for all your likes and comments and all your support, no, sa ating page.
All right, that's a wrap for us here tonight. I'm Jay Roga.
And I'm Anthony James Perez.
Thank you for watching the Sentinel PH.
And together, people.